Florida's DCF Secretary speaks out after our foster care investigation. Kids held in cars for countless hours in a gas station parking lot because they had nowhere else to go. Eckerd Connects fired Hillsborough County's sole provider of foster care, due in part to our 8 on Your Side investigation.
But how much blame does Eckerd deserve for this foster care mess? Well, tonight Mark Douglas tackles that question, shows us how one teen suffers because of foster care failures.
Stacy and Keith, this is a complicated situation with plenty of blame to pass around, as you'll see. But let's remember, at the heart of it all are foster children taken by force from their own families, and in some cases placed in more turmoil by the agencies that we pay millions to protect them. Meet the 17-year-old foster girl we'll call Hope. Day after day, we saw Hope sitting in caseworkers' cars in this Wawa parking lot, waiting for a foster home, even for a night.
I recognize that child.
Former Youth and Family Alternatives worker Sharday Moore remembers the hours she spent with Hope.
The whole entire 6 to 7 hours I sat with her, there wasn't a time that child sat still. She shook the entire time.
The first week we saw Hope, she was already sitting in the parking lot at 11:20 a.m. No school that day. She sat for hours with a caseworker before a meal at PDQ, then climbed into an Eckerd van for a 30-mile drive to St. Pete to spend the night. Week 2, back at the Wawa, a trip to McDonald's this time, another transfer, another 30-mile drive, this time ending at Child Protective Services.
She expressed to me that she had only been taking a shower once a week, and all she eats is Lunchables, and so she's always hungry.
Week 3, back at the Wawa, 2 car switches, and a trip to Riverview. 3 different days, 3 different destinations.
I don't see where that's fair to any child.
Eckerd tells me they first learned about the Wawa runaround back in November, but YFA claimed it stopped that practice. They lied?
Well, I don't know if they lied, but they certainly didn't give us the full picture of what was happening.
Tuesday, Eckerd fired YFA, but Hillsborough Commissioner Sandy Merman insists Eckerd shares the blame.
At some level, somebody at Eckerd had to have been complicit on this whole situation.
Who should be fired at Eckerd Connects for what happened here?
You know, right now the responsibility lies with YFA, and they're the ones that we had to terminate.
Eckerd is now searching for a new provider for more than 1,700 Hillsborough foster kids. Meanwhile, despite all she's gone through, it turns out Hope still has dreams.
Because she's inspiring to write a book. She wants her story to be heard.
Late today, DCF Secretary Mike Carroll responded to our investigation with a statement saying he won't tolerate any children spending extended periods of time in cars or offices when they should be in a foster home. Carroll says YFA had a duty to get them into treatment and not just find them a bed for the night. Is this the best we can do for $10 million a year? I say no.
Yeah, and apparently a lot of other people feel the same way. It's kind of a no-brainer. But now Eckerd's saying these kids had places to go, and if that's the case, I mean, why are they doing it at a gas station?
Well, we're hearing some suggestions that they refused placements, but the question is, if that's the case, why would they consider a car at a Wawa station in all kinds of weather a better alternative than a foster home? More to tell on this story.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Mark. And we're going to stay on top of this story and bring you new developments as we get them. You can watch our investigations anytime on WFLA.com and our free News Channel 8 app.